Hello students, so welcome to this next lecture of strength of materials. So in the previous lecture we have seen various type of problems and few problems were involved like where the cross section area was changing. So let us try to learn the non-prismatic bars in more detail. So what we are going to do if a circular tapered bar we are encountering. So let me just tell you how this bar is. So here the diameter is d1 and gradually it is increasing up to d2 diameter. So at each and every point cross section area is changing. So the deformation that was PL by A, here A was constant. Okay, so this formula we are not going to use directly for this type of non-prismatic bars. So what we are going to do, we have to solve this problem. So we will take a small cross section x at a x distance whose thickness is dx, and we will find a small deformation of this small strip. Okay, clear? So for this small strip the cross section area will be same because this is very small, so cross section area will be same. So let us put at its ax, the cross sectional area at a distance of x from left hand side. So how much will be the deformation now if we are trying to use the equation? So it will be p into dx is the length divided by ax into e. So this is very simple. Now if we are able to find the area ax in terms of x, so now like for the deformation what we can do, integrate this delta x. That also we can easily do, like this is the slope is constant, so we can easily calculate ax. So let us try to understand how we are going to do. So taking a section at a distance x from left end and considering an elementary length dx which is subjected to tensile force P. So as I have told you, what will be the deformation? So the deformation will be P into dx divided by ax into E. So if the cross sectional area for ax, the cross sectional area in this cross section is circular, so ax will be what? Ax will be pi by 4 dx square. So basically we have to calculate dx. Okay, so dx is here, you can see. So dx will be how much? d1 plus the slope into length x. So slope is how much? d2 minus d1 by l. Okay, so here you are having dx, so this is your ax. After putting all the values here, you will be getting delta L is equal to 4 PL upon pi E into d1 d2. So this is the formula for deformation if the bar is circular in cross section which is tapered from a diameter d1 to a diameter d2. Clear? So this integration is very easy, so you can easily go through it. Now let us try to solve one problem. So a steel rod tapers in diameter from 18 mm at one end to 9 mm at the other over a length of 900 mm. Determine the elongation in the bar if E is 200 GPa. So again we are having circular cross section like this. Here it is 9 mm, here it is 18 mm. Okay, and length is 900 mm. So the formula is very simple, 4 P L upon pi d1 d2 E. So I think I have missed the value of P. Let us check in the next question. So the value of P is given as loaded by 15 kilonewton. So everything is given, just put the values and you will get like the value of 0.53 mm. In the exam, if you are getting like for 4 marks or smaller number of marks are allocated for this problem, then directly use the formula delta P is equal to 4PL upon pi E d1 d2. But if this question is coming for like 10 marks or 15 marks, then you have to derive this equation. You have to derive by taking a small elemental step, and then you have to put all the values and you will get a delta. If you are for 15 marks you are doing this only single calculation, then you will not get full marks, so you will be allotted only 2 or 3 marks. So please be careful for this type of problems. This type of problem you will like every alternate year or 2 years it is coming in your examination. Now after like non-prismatic bar, let us move to our next topic, which is composite section. Composite section is also very small topic, and we can just understand this with the example. So let us understand what is composite section. A composite section consists of two or more materials bonded together rigidly, such as the straining action of the external load is shared by the materials forming the section. So in your like the building in which you are residing or the building in which you are studying, any building is made up of composite section. Why we need composite section? That is the first thing you must ask, like why we are going to use composite section. Why not we are using uniform sections, like a section made up of only one material? This is because the many of the properties which are desired in the design problem, each and every material cannot fulfill those properties. Like in case of your building, which is particularly a RCC structure, that is reinforced concrete structure. That means the concrete which you are seeing from outside, it is being reinforced from inside with the help of steel rods. Okay, HVSG bars or steel bars, plain like mild steel bars, whatever type of bars are used depending upon the load and various conditions. So why we are using these steel rods? Because the concrete is not, its tensile strength is almost zero, very close to zero. So what if the load is tensile? Then to like encounter that tensile load, we are using the steel rods. So for this reason, like composite section are used, because each and every material cannot fulfill your desired properties. So to fulfill the flaws in the other material, we are using a different type of material, and by combining all those material by proper design specification, we can easily encounter the load, or we can easily like design that structure. So but what is the like main condition? Main condition is they will be sharing the load. Whatever load is coming out on the structure, that will be shared by all the materials which are being used, and the strain should be equal. One more thing you can ask, sir, why only steel we are using? Because the thermal expansion coefficient of steel and concrete is almost same. That means if temperature is increasing, the steel and concrete will expand by same amount, so the compatibility condition is satisfied. Even if temperature is decrease, so then also the contraction is by same amount, so the compatibility equation is fulfilling, that straining should be same at like the bonded surface where that two surfaces are bonded. The strain at that point should be same. In the case of composite section, the condition of static equilibrium not enough to determine the forces in the member. Such sections has two components of different materials which are considered to deform together. So only equilibrium condition is not enough, so we should have some different kind of equation. That equation is termed as compatibility equation. Compatibility means they will be straining together, or in other words, the like corresponding deformation will also be same. Clear? So let us try to understand in more clear way by the help of this example. So a short reinforced cement concrete column, that is a square column 600 by 600 mm, has 8 steel rods of 25 mm diameter as reinforcement. Find a stress in steel and concrete and the elastic shortening of the column if E is 2000. This is basically 200 GPa, and for steel it is and for concrete it is 10,000 Newton or 10 GPa. Load on the column is 3000 kilonewton and length is given as 3 meter. So first try to understand how this will look like. So let us say this is the column 600 by 600. So here also it is 600 by 600. So this is like the positioning of your steel rods. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So something like this it will look like if you are cutting any section. Now let us try to solve this problem. So let PC and PS are the loads on concrete and steel respectively. So PC is load contributed load taken by concrete, and PS load taken by steel. Now we know that PS and PC should combinedly be taking the external load, that is 3000 kilonewton. Now let us try to, stresses are involved, so we have to find the like what area first, then only we can be calculate in terms of stress and strain. So area of steel bar is 8 bars of 25 mm diameter. So 8 into pi by 4 t square is, this is coming out to be 3927 mm square. Now area of concrete, how much area is left? Total area minus this area. So total area is 600 mm square minus 3927. So this is coming out to be concrete area of concrete. Now the strain should be equal. Okay, so strain in concrete should be equal to strain in, this is your equilibrium condition, this is your compatibility condition. So put the value of stresses, strains PC by AC into EC is equal to PS upon AS ES. So you will get PC is equal to PC. Basically we are trying to find PC in terms of PS. So it is coming out to be 4.53 times PS. So the steel is taking lesser load than concrete. This you can see from this, because we are multiplying some bigger like constant to get the value equal to PC. That you can get from the results also. Now put the values here, 4.5 PS plus PS is equal to total load. Here it is 3, not, no, it is 6 only, 3000 kilonewton. Okay, it is correct only. So finally you are getting 542 kilonewton out of 3000 is like resisted by steel, and the remaining 2457.87 kilonewton is resisted by concrete. Now the compressive stress in concrete is how much? PC by AC, and compressive stress in steel is PS by AS. Elastic shortening you can calculate by calculating this value, any value from both sides, you will be getting the same answer. PC by AC into EC should be equal to PS by AS into ES. So you can calculate this. So I hope this is clear to you. Now let us move to our next topic, that is temperature stresses. How we are going to deal when the temperature change is there in our body or structure. So when a body is subjected to temperature change, it elongates, or if temperature rises, and shortens if the temperature decreases. This is basically from, like in your 9th or 10th class you must have this thing, delta L is nothing but L alpha delta T. So L is the length, original length, alpha is the thermal coefficient of that material, and delta T is the temperature change. If we are changing from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, so delta T will be 20 degrees Celsius. So this is very small thing that you should have studied earlier. Now let us see how we are going to see the strains and stresses. If this is this bar, like let us see we are having two conditions, one is first is here and second is here. How this is different? This is your cantilever beam. Okay, so this end is free to expand. If we are changing the temperature from like 0 to T degree Celsius, or any temperature change, delta T degree Celsius is the temperature change. Here what is going to happen? This will be simply deform by amount delta L, which will be equal to L into delta into T, delta T into alpha. How now what will be the stress here? The stress here will be how much? Sigma will be 0. Now you will ask, sir, why it is 0? Because the bar is free to expand. What was the definition of stress? It is an internal reaction when we are fully or partially restraining the structure from expansion or contraction. But here it is free. If it is free, then there is no stress generate. Okay. But let us see one more condition shown in the second diagram here. Now what we have done, we are having a fixed beam. Previously we were having a cantilever beam. So now both ends are fixed. Now if we are expanding, if we are increasing the temperature, what is going to happen? Ideally it should increase delta L, but due to this support, it is not allowing this type of deformation. So this support is restraining the deformation delta L. That means, let us assume if this fixed support is not here. Okay, so what is going to happen? This will expand delta T, but due to this fixed support, one stress will generate. Let us say it is, we are denoting by delta T, which will try to push it, and it will come back here. You can understand in different methods, but whatever suits you, just try to understand the concept. So this stress is generated due to this deformation which is not allowed. So corresponding strain will be how much? Delta L by L. Hence the stress will be delta L into L multiplied by E. So what is delta L upon L? Delta L is L alpha delta T upon L. So it is independent of length. Whatever length is we are using, if we are having E alpha delta T, the stress is coming out to be same. It is independent of the length. It is only depending upon the material property and change in the temperature. So let us try to see this with the help of one example. The thermal stress in a bar between rigid support A, steel bar 2 meter long, is fixed between two supports. If the temperature of the bar is raised by 18 degrees Celsius, find the stress in the bar if supports are rigid. Assume alpha is equal to 12 into 10 to the power minus 6 and E is given as 200 GPa. So directly let us move to our solution part. So this is the diagram which both ends are fixed. 2 meter is the length. Temperature is raised by 18 degrees Celsius. So we have to find the stress generated. So directly we can calculate from here E alpha delta T, put the values all, you will be getting 43.2 MPa. Or indirectly, if we want to calculate the strain first, and from that strain multiply it by E, you will also get the same value. So in this manner you can calculate the value of thermal stresses. So we have completed our topics like stress, temperature and composite section today. In the next lecture we will be moving forward to our next topic. So this is all for today. Thank you.